G'day everyone, Tim from vMix here. Today in this video we're going to take a look at programming the Elgato Stream Deck with vMix shortcuts. We have over 300 shortcuts in vMix and you can use them with your Stream Deck simply by pressing a key. Want to do something like switch cameras, mute audio, start your stream, or perhaps overlay a title? Just press a key like this. Stick around if you want to know more. We've had a Stream Deck tutorial here on our YouTube channel for a few years now, but there have been a couple of cosmetic menu changes in the Stream Deck app and how you set it up with vMix, so we thought we would go ahead and make a new video to reflect those changes. If you've been using the Stream Deck with vMix already, there's no real need to watch this video as the functionality hasn't changed. Feel free to leave a comment though, seeing as you're already here. Maybe let us know what your favorite cake is, or perhaps how you're using the Stream Deck with vMix. Since the last video that we made, we've noticed that so many different productions are using the Stream Deck, or in fact Stream Decks, to produce their content. We've seen them used all over the world in all kinds of different production scenarios. Currently there are 3 available models: the Stream Deck Mini with 6 keys, the Stream Deck with 15 keys, and the Stream Deck XL with 32 keys. And it's not uncommon to see producers with 3 Stream Deck XLs in their production, so that they can use all the keys. Now I'm sure that there'll be new models out in the future with maybe less keys or more keys. We'll see what Elgato comes up with. So this video is about the Stream Deck and how you can use shortcuts with it, but vMix also supports MIDI devices, X keys, Xbox controllers, and keyboards and mouse with shortcuts and vMix. So you can check out our description for more information about using those. If you're wondering what the Stream Deck is, it's a USB device that has programmable keys. Much like a keyboard, when you press a key, it performs a function. So for vMix, it means that you can program your vMix shortcuts to work when you press a Stream Deck key. A neat feature of the Stream Deck is that it has LCD keys, so you're able to program custom displays on them. That can include text, colors, images, GIFs, or even your vMix live input previews. Now you aren't limited to the physical keys that you have on your Stream Deck. For example, this one here has 32 keys. However, the Stream Deck offers pages and folders options, which allows you to add multiple levels of keys to your device. So instead of just the 32 keys that I have here, I can add a page to it, which will add another 32 keys, and I can add another page, another folder to create more and more keys for use in vMix. The Stream Deck is available in a lot of different retail stores and through online retailers such as Amazon. So if you ever forget one, or if you want to try one out, they're very easy to purchase. You can just head down to your local shopping center and you should be able to find one in a store down there. Now I know I've bought them in all kinds of random places in the US for trade shows, places like Best Buy, GameStop, and I think maybe even Target. I think I might have bought one from there as well. Okay, so you've bought your Stream Deck and now you're ready to set it up. So what you'll need to do is go to the Elgato website and download the Stream Deck application. Then you'll need to install it to your computer and make sure that you've got your Stream Deck plugged in. To use the Stream Deck with vMix, you'll need at least vMix 22 and Stream Deck version 4.1. However, I'm using 5.1 today of the Stream Deck application, and I'm using vMix 24, and I'd recommend remaining up to date with the latest version of the Stream Deck app and vMix as well. Now we do have plenty of Stream Decks in the office here, so we make sure that when the software is updated that they work with vMix as well. So I definitely recommend staying up to date with vMix and Stream Deck. Okay, so this is the Stream Deck application. Now on the left, you'll see all of your keys that are available to you. So I have a Stream Deck XL, which you can see in the preview. I have 32 keys. And on the right-hand side are the different plugins and actions that I can assign to those particular keys. So on the left, you have the keys, and on the right, you have the different actions you can assign to them. So in order to add a vMix shortcut to your Stream Deck, you'll need to add the vMix plugin. So you'll need to go to the Stream Deck store, which is this little icon right here. You'll just need to click on it, and that will open up the Stream Deck store. We can search for vMix in the top right-hand corner here by just searching vMix, like so, and then we can install it. We can click on it, and then we can click install up the top here. And what we want to do is install this plugin. If you feel like giving us 5 stars, feel free to do that as well. All right, so once that's done, you can see that it's installed. We just click X up here, and now we have the option to add a vMix shortcut to our Stream Deck. So we just scroll down the bottom here, and now you can see that we've got vMix. Now you can minimize these like so, or you can go up to the organizational menu up here and remove the things that you don't want. So I don't want this one here, and I don't need this one here, and then I can save it. Just makes it a little bit cleaner for you if you just want specific things in this menu. All right, so what I'm going to do is start assigning my shortcuts to my keys. So first of all, I'm going to remove this one here, and you'll see that it will correlate with the preview right here. See, this will remove once I delete it. So it's happening in real time from the app to the Stream Deck. So what I'm going to do now is drag across the ability to have a vMix shortcut on my keys. So as you can see, the icons are now appearing. So that's the vMix icon, meaning that I can now assign a vMix shortcut to that key. So I can just drag across all of these like so. I can fill this out if I want to. So now I have my top row. They now have the ability to have vMix shortcuts. So let's say I wanted to have more than just these 32 keys. I can click here and add a page. So now I have a second page, and if I want to put a shortcut on that page, I would drop it there. Maybe on a third page, I can put shortcuts here as well, and I can double click this to go back. I can also have folders as well. So there's a folder option here. Let me find it, create folder, it's the top one. So I can create a folder here as well and put shortcuts in folders also. So there's a couple of different options for adding multiple layers of keys on your Stream Deck. And so you don't have to just have the vMix shortcuts here. Any other plugins that you have here, you can also add them to your keys as well. So if I wanted to add a brightness option here, I could do that, or timer, all those kind of stuff can be added to that as well. All right, so now I'm going to show you what you can do to the key itself, like what display you can have for it. So I'm going to select the one in the top left-hand corner here. And what I can do now is change the text on it. So I could just write wow on it. And as you can see, that has now changed on the Stream Deck key. And I can change the way that it looks by the font, the color, where it's laid out. All that kind of stuff can be changed from here. And once that's done, I can also change the background of the key. So I can add an icon to it. So instead of having that vMix icon, I can set a file. So I can create an image file for it, or I can use one of the icons that they offer as well. So that's up to you. Now we can also use the vMix display, so the live preview as well. And I'll show you how to do that a little bit later on. Now, one thing to consider is that if you write text on it here, that overwrites anything that you add in vMix as well. So you can still have your live previews, but it will have whatever text is written on it here. So if you don't want text on it, make sure that you remove that from here. You just delete that text. Okay, so now that we have our Stream Deck with our vMix shortcuts assigned to the keys, we're going to go down to vMix now, and we're going to set up some shortcuts. Now, you'll need to restart vMix if you've just installed the Stream Deck app so that we'll recognize the key, so make sure that you do that. I've already done that because I had it already installed. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is go to the shortcuts section of vMix. So that can be found in the settings menu in the top right here, and then we go down to shortcuts. So then what you want to do is add a shortcut. So click on the add shortcut key here. Then up the top here, we'll need to find our Stream Deck key. So we'll click find. And now what I'll do is go over to my Stream Deck, and I'll just use the wow key that I created in the top corner, and I'll press it down. Now, as you can see here, as I'm pressing it up and down, you have two different options. You can have the down action or up action. Now, I typically like to have it on the down action, so I'll press it down. So as soon as I press it, that shortcut happens. So that's what I like to do. So I'm going to click OK. So now I have a shortcut ready to go on that one, and I need to select what function that I want. So what I'm going to do is just do a simple transition for now. So I'm going to select transition, and I'm going to select fade. So I'm just going to do a simple fade transition. I can set how long it's going to take. So I'll make that ½ second. And I'm just going to make it go from my preview to my program. So that's going to be the shortcut that I create. You could also set it to a particular input if you wanted to, like fade to a particular camera or to a particular video. I'm just going to go preview to program as an example. So underneath the input section, you do have some other options here. If you want to know more about shortcuts, I'd recommend checking out the shortcut video that we have on our vMix YouTube channel. Underneath that, I can give it a title if I want to. So I could just call this fade, for example, and give it a description and that sort of thing. The most important thing down here is the display. So if I want to, I can choose thumbnail. Now, thumbnail will represent my live vMix preview on the Stream Deck key. So I'm going to select that to show you what it looks like. And I'm going to select local shortcut just because I'm going to save it in this preset. That's typically how I do it. So now I've got, as you can see up here on the button press down of my key, it's going to fade from my preview to program. And I am going to use the thumbnail display, which is the live preview of the input. So I'm going to click OK down the bottom here and then click OK. So let's go ahead and press this button and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to press it now. As you can see, it is faded from the preview to the program, and it's going to display what's in the preview because that's what's coming over. And so if I move this back, you'll see that it actually changes to what's in the preview. So you can see that the live preview is the Stream Deck, and then when I move it over here, it is now the program output because that's what's in the preview window now. So that will change, which is pretty cool. So I'm just going to transition this back like so. And now I'm going to quickly show you how to do another one. So we'll go up to settings, shortcuts, click add, and then we'll use this, we'll go down a folder here. So let's go down this one here. Let's go down a folder and we'll use this guy here. So what I'm going to do now is go to find, I'm going to press this one down. So this is down a folder and I'm going to click OK. And now for the function, what I'm going to do is just overlay my title. So as you can see here, we have 300 or more functions you can add to your key. So what I'm going to do is go overlay input one. So that'll put it in the first overlay channel. And then I'm just going to select my title that I've added. So that's the input that I'm going to use. I'll give this a title if I want. You don't have to, it's up to you. And then for the display, I'm going to select thumbnail as well, just to show you what that looks like. And then I'm just going to click OK down the bottom. Now, as you can see, just then it now has changed into what my title looks like. So that's my lower third, and it's gone from that vMix icon to that lower third. And now when I press this key here, it will now overlay my title. Wow. And I press it again. And as you can see, it moves off the screen. Now, these are only a few frames per second because, you don't want too much data flowing back and forth, but it'll give you an idea of kind of what's in that particular input. So that's a handy way to do it. So that's how you can use the folders and the pages and that sort of thing as well. So I can go back up here and then I could select this to do the switching. And then I can go down here, find the folder and then press this one here. So as you can see, it's like multi-layered if you wanted to have even more keys than this one offers. We go up again and then we move that across. So yeah, that's how you can set up those keys to do a lot of different types of shortcuts, and you can see what's happening on the screen with those live previews. Now with the live previews, you may be better off to use a picture in the Stream Deck app, depending on what's on it. Like you might have a video file that has a blank first frame, which means it's going to be blank on the Stream Deck, which may be hard for you to be able to pick it up. So you may want to use the text using the Stream Deck app, or potentially using an image in the Stream Deck app to help identify it just a little bit better, as opposed to just having a blank frame. I thought I would quickly go over the profile section in the Stream Deck app just to explain a few things. So here I am in the app again. In the top left-hand corner, you'll see what device you're using. So I've got the Stream Deck XL. Underneath that, you'll see what profile you're using. Now by default, it's actually called default profile. And your profile will save your actions that are on the keys, like these vMix ones across here, my folders, pages, and any other actions that I have associated to the keys. Now each of these keys have their own letter number combination in order to know which key they are. So if you remember when I added the shortcut before, a little letter number combination appeared when I pressed it. So all of these keys have their own special identifier in the profile. So if I switch the profile now, like if I created a new one and switched it, all these keys would have a new letter number combination. So sometimes people switch their profile and then they go into vMix and they say, well, why aren't my keys working anymore? That's because each profile has its own new set of keys. So typically I use my default profile because I use the same kind of combinations and presets in vMix, so I don't need to really change them. However, if you are making changes to the way that your Stream Deck works and the different keys and that sort of things you've got assigned to it, then it might be an idea to create a new profile for each preset that you have in vMix and how you want to lay it out. It'd be a good idea to play around with this and see what's going to work best for you. Now, you can export these profiles to a new computer if you wanted to. However, the letters and numbers do not transfer across, unfortunately. So you would still see the keys here, but you would then have to reassign those to vMix to the correct shortcut. The Stream Deck also works with vMix Activators. Now, vMix Activators are a way to display feedback from vMix via the Stream Deck keys. For example, I can use different colors on the Stream Deck key to tell me things, such as whether my audio is on, if I'm streaming and recording, if something is being used as an overlay, or if my input is being used in the program output, just as some examples. There are a lot of different events that you can display, so check out our full-length video on Activators if you want to know a little bit more. Now, I've quickly set up an example here where my microphone audio is being used as an activator. So I know whether my microphone that's right here is on or not, whether the audio is going to be coming through. So when my mic is on, this button down here is red, and when the audio is off for my microphone, it's going to go blue. So I can tell you all my secrets when I press this button and you're not going to be able to hear me, and it's going to go blue when that audio is off. And now when I press it again, the audio will come back on. Now I have this hooked up to a shortcut, but you don't have to do it that way. You can just use it as an activator, so the color changes when the audio is on or off. So I'm going to show you what that looks like from the vMix interface down here. When I turn my audio off here, you'll notice that the button also goes on and off. So it'll go red, then blue. And then when I turn it back on, you can hear me again. This and nothing's happening. See, it's going on and off. So it lets me know that my audio is currently on, which is pretty handy. Now I'm going to show you how you can set that up from scratch. So to set up an activator on a key, we need to go to the settings section in the top right-hand corner. And then we just need to go down to Activators. So that's just below the shortcut section we were working on before. So these are the activators that I already have set up for that key, for the microphone audio on and off. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go down and click Add. So I'm going to add a new activator. So just like shortcuts, what we need to do is find the key that we want to use on the Stream Deck. So what I'm going to do is click Find, and then I'm going to click, let's go with this one right here. So I'm going to select this one, and then I'm going to click OK. Now keep in mind that like shortcuts, you will have to have that vMix plugin action assigned to it. So it has to have this little icon here to make sure that it's a vMix action so you can do stuff with it. All right, so as you can see below it, it has now showed up the Stream Deck button. So as I mentioned before in the presets, this is the predetermined button or key number that is working in your profile on that particular key. All right, so under that, you'll see the event option. Now, firstly, we'll need to set up the default state of the key. So this is going to be the color of the key when there are no events happening on it. So what we're going to do is from the dropdown, select default. Now you can't set up multiple events on a single key. You can set up a default option and then you can set up an event option. So keep that in mind. You can't have multiple things happening on the same key with different events. So underneath that, you will see the option to select type. Now we can leave this off if we want just a blank key, or we can select a color. So I'm going to select a particular color. So first of all, I need to select Stream Deck as the key type, and then I'm going to select my default color for the key, which obviously is going to be my favorite color, which is going to be brown. And at the bottom, I'm going to just select local preset because I'm saving all these as the local preset, shortcut, and activators. All right, so what I'm going to do now is just click OK down the bottom, and you will actually notice that this key up here, right here, will turn brown when I click OK. So there we go. We now have a brown key set up as the default state for that particular key. So now we need to set up that key to change color when an event happens. So I can go to Add and select the key again, or I could just select it and go to Clone to save that step, and then just edit this one here. Now up the top here, you'll notice that it's still the same key, and I need to now select an event. So I need to select an event. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to do the audio activator like I did before. So I'm going to go down here and select Input Audio. So I'm going to show you how you can display whether your audio is on or off for a particular input. So for the input, I am then going to select this believe.mp3 file. And no, unfortunately, is not the Cher Grammy Award winning song. It's just another song named Believe. Now underneath that, you'll see assign activator to input number. I like to untick this because I like for my activator to move whenever I move my input, no matter where it is in vMix. So I like to untick that. That's opposite to the tick box in the shortcut section. So it's just a little bit different. Now underneath that, we've still got the Stream Deck type selected. And then I need to select a color that I want to use for when my audio is on. So I am going to select red. Underneath that, I'm just going to leave that local preset and then click OK. All right, so as you can see now, I've got a default state, which is brown for this key. And then when my audio is on for believe.mp3, it's going to go red. So let's just go ahead and click OK down the bottom. And what I can do now is I'll show you this Believe MP3 file. So it's playing on loop, but the audio's not actually on. So when I turn the audio on, you'll be able to hear it. And you'll notice that the color here will go from brown to red. So it's probably a little bit loud. So let me just turn that down a little bit. And let's just turn on the audio. And there you go. We've got a red key now. So there you have it. That's how you can set up an activator for the audio event. Now, in order to wrap things up completely, what we can do now is go and set up a shortcut on that as well. So we'll bring it full circle. So what I'm going to do now is go up to settings, and then I'm going to go to shortcuts, and then I'm going to go to add, find this key up here. Oops, just reset itself. There we go. Hold it down, click OK. And now for the function, I need to go to audio. I can also search up the top here as well, but I know that I want to use this audio option here, which will toggle the audio on and off, set the mute on and off. And then I need to select my believe.mp3 file. Again, not the Shure Grammy Award winning single. I can give it a title if I want to, I don't need to. Now for the display, I'm going to leave this as default. I just want to use the colors that I've got set up for the activators. I'm going to make it a local shortcut and then going to click OK. And then OK again. Now, before I show you that shortcut, what I'm going to do is just make it a little bit more obvious to know what exactly I'm doing on the button. So what I'm going to do now is just quickly load up the Stream Deck app here. I'm going to go to the key it's on and just type in believe. Believe? No, believe. All right, that was a close one. Okay, so now it says believe, and so I know exactly what it is. So now I'm going to press it. The audio is going to come on, and it should go red because the audio is on. There we go. All right, so that is setting up an activator and a shortcut on a single button and having feedback and everything so you can use it in your production. As I mentioned before, the Stream Deck allows you to have multiple devices connected to vMix at once. So you can have multiple ones programmed for vMix. A lot of people use 1, 2, 3 as a part of their live productions. Now you can also have multiple pages and folders, which gives you options for hundreds of keys if you do need them. Now you may not be able to afford a larger Stream Deck, so with the pages and the folders options, you're able to give yourself a lot of keys to work with. As the Stream Deck has become more popular, there are other pieces of software that work with vMix and the Stream Deck, but this one here, this is the official method, and it's the only one that we can officially support and troubleshoot because we made the plugin for the Stream Deck and know how it all works. If you have any questions about the Stream Deck, feel free to drop us an email via the contact form on vmix.com. We can't do any diagnosing or troubleshooting via YouTube comments as we have no idea about your setup and hardware. So just drop us an email and our friendly support staff will get back to you. If you are having any issues with maybe a new Stream Deck update or something like that, just drop us an email as well so we can make sure it's all working properly. It's a little bit easier than posting it on forums and Facebook groups and hoping someone might have a fix when we've already found a solution for it. So thanks for watching, and we'll stream you later.